name is Dr. Aidan Elliott, and this is the Complete Guide to Shakespeare. The first theme that I want to explore in Macbeth is appearance and reality. I will discuss its role in the story and highlight key quotes that you can use in tests, essays and examinations. The theme of how things appear versus how they really are is introduced at the beginning of the play when the witches say, "Fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and filthy air." The alliteration on the letter F draws our attention to fair, foul, fog and filthy. Fair and foul suggests a confusion between good and bad. Fog and filthy, apart from suggesting unclear vision, also predicts the way that the characters will struggle to understand what is going on around them. After Macbeth and Banquo are given prophecies about their futures, Banquo is then confused about the identity of the witches. "Are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly ye show?" Fantastical means imaginary. So are they supernatural spirits, or are they what they appear to be on the outside, real people? It's not clear, and this makes it difficult for Macbeth and Banquo to decide whether what they're saying is true. After they disappear, and Banquo asks where they've vanished to, Macbeth replies, "Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind." Corporal means to have a physical body. They seemed to have bodies, but they disappeared into thin air. These phrases are similes. You can spot them because they begin with words such as seem, seemed, like, or as. So, we can imagine the witches disappearing like warm air that comes out of our mouths into cold air. It's visible for a moment as water vapour, and then is gone. Another aspect of appearance versus reality is the metaphorical clothing Macbeth wears. When Macbeth hears that he's now Thane of Cawdor, he says, "The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?" Here he uses the metaphor of ceremonial robes, often used on formal occasions to indicate social status. The metaphor suggests he's not comfortable with his supposed new title. And so this metaphor of ill-fitting clothing is repeated several times during the play to let us know Macbeth is not fit to be a king. A third way in which Shakespeare uses appearance and reality is when he shows how King Duncan completely misreads the characters of other people. The most relevant quote is this: "There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust." Duncan is correct that it is difficult to gauge what people think from how they appear. And here he uses the pronoun he to refer to the traitorous Thane of Cawdor. But it's also ironic, because the new Thane of Cawdor, Macbeth, is a man in whom he will also place his absolute trust. And Macbeth is already having traitorous thoughts. He wants to kill the king. And when Duncan arrives at Macbeth's castle, he says, "This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses." This quote reinforces the gaping chasm between how Duncan perceives Macbeth's castle and the reality. Moments before Duncan speaks, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth were discussing murder, black desire, and being the serpent hiding under the flower. But Duncan's words here, pleasant, nimbly, sweetly, and gentle, suggest a place of peace and beauty. The moment is ironic, because we know about Macbeth's evil plans. It's also possibly oxymoronic, because the discussion of the planned murder immediately precedes this scene of pleasantness. A fourth dimension of appearance, differing from reality, is Macbeth's need to hide his true intentions. He says, "Stars, hide your fires, Let not light see my black and deep desires, the eye wink at the hand. Literally, this seems to say that Macbeth does not want the starlight to pierce the dark and reveal what he's doing, but this is actually metaphorical. The starlight represents the light of goodness from God in heaven, and Macbeth does not want this light of goodness to enter his soul and see the black or evil desires buried deep inside him. And he extends this metaphor by suggesting that if he can just close his eyes or wink, he won't see and therefore judge himself the murder that's going to be carried out by his hand. Then, when Lady Macbeth tells her husband to look like the innocent flower but be the serpent under it, she's picking up this idea of deceit. Appear to be innocent to hide your dangerous plans. On one level, this image is simply that of a harmful creature, a snake, hiding under something harmless, a flower. But on another level, it's a reference to the biblical serpent who deceived Adam and Eve and convinced them to disobey God. And you might also note that it is Lady Macbeth who tells Macbeth to be deceitful, as Eve did with Adam, thus reinforcing this link with the biblical story. This idea of Macbeth deceiving others by hiding his true intentions is reinforced when he says, "False face must hide what the false heart doth know." This is why Duncan was right to say that you cannot find the mind's construction in the face. Desires can be hidden. And note again the alliteration using the letter F. This is not a coincidence and reminds us of the fair is foul line mentioned at the beginning of the play. Finally, there's a moment late in the play when Macduff comes to ask Duncan's son Malcolm to help overthrow Macbeth. But Malcolm says he's totally unsuitable because, were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels and this other's house. He goes on to say that he would be worse than Macbeth. He is in fact pretending to be foul when he is actually fair. He's using the fog of misdirection to test whether Macduff is Macbeth's agent or is a true friend. This scene is often reduced or cut in production, but it is a crucial indication that Malcolm, unlike his father Duncan, will not be deceived by appearances. He will not be stung by the serpent hidden beneath the flower. This scene helps to convince us that he will be a virtuous king, like his father, but also a king who understands that not all of his subjects are as virtuous as they might look. So do look out for some of these features as you read, watch and study the play, and I hope this brief video has given you some new insights that will help you to get greater enjoyment from Shakespeare's Macbeth. Give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and subscribe now so that you never miss any of my future posts.